Building a Star Wars Cantina Bar in my garden, part 6. So whilst not all of the external cladding panels have arrived yet, and I have to wait another 5 weeks or so for them, I've got some now and I wanted to get started. So these are actually polyurethane and very light with a stone effect look to them. So here I am just putting them in and cutting out the rough shape for the windows. Then back to the round seating booth. I'm painting this gold because this is highly inspired not only by the Millennium Falcon's kind of round seating area, but also Dryden Voss's kind of seating area that he has in Solo. In a previous video, I made a kind of template for a decorative kind of frame middle bit aspects that I made for the windows, and here I am just using black no nails to kind of glue those to the windows. So here I am just applying it, and then getting my partner to help by pressing from the outside while I press from the inside to make sure they're solidly glued down. And as it was a nice sunny day, we decided to get started on the outside, so I'm finishing up the paving slabs up to the doorway and then levelling out the ground a little bit, or as most as possible, a weed-proof membrane, and then I'm using an MOT sub base as a base and some kind of bigger pebbles, and then going with finer sand, kind of in different stages as you kind of see here. I hope no landscapers are watching this video because this is not the kind of right way or the standard way to do it, or especially the way I'm using postcrete here, but it works and there's not a heavy amount of weight going to be needed on this type of area that's just kind of standing and sitting for people. And after working out which orientation I wanted to use the sun umbrella in, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. It's inspired by things like Galaxy's Edge, Mando's House at the end of Series 3. There's still some work to do with the front area. I need to get some more stones and things and fill in those areas, but that'll be done at a later date. And the AstroTurf we've laid back down, but it's definitely got some creases in, which we'll kind of come back to at a later date. But this is just roughly down for now, with kind of tightening up and tidying up and extra bits to kind of do in the future at a later stage. Then it's onto the internal cladding panels, and this is what's really going to help transform it, I think. So luckily it was a nice hot sunny day, and my friend Scott, Mad About History Scott here, if you follow him online, was helping me out with this. So we're using Foamex, which is quite flexible, and it's really good for exactly what I want it to do. You'll kind of see the end results here. So here is all sped up of us kind of bringing them all in and trying to fit a big 3 meter by 4 meter piece above our head, and sadly we broke the tripod, so there's no time lapse of the rest of it. I'm also using these kind of white screw caps so you don't actually see the screws of where all the boards are screwed in, and it looks something like this. And this is what it kind of looked like at a pretty much end result. A couple of areas to tighten up still, a couple of areas to fill her in, and yeah, something like this. And obviously the wires are still out because waiting for this stage for the electrician to then come back and do the kind of light fitting and plug fitting, but the wires are all actually hidden behind all the boards. And I'd like to clarify, this is a rough shape of the doorway. I'm going to come back and kind of trim it down and make it more round after, but this is just a rough shape, the same as the windows. It's a rough cut, a rough shape, and I will come back to them and tighten them up and tidy them up after. And for this internal kind of oval doorway, inspired by the Millennium Falcon, I'm working out which orientation I want to put these foam blocks on the kind of edge. So drop a comment below with A, B or C, and I'll take that into account. But that's it for now. Pretty much the vinyl left to go, the lights and plugs to be fitted, the upholstery on the kind of sofa area to do, and then just tidying up some areas, and then just getting the furniture and stuff in. So not much left to do, probably only be another couple of parts left of this, but stay tuned for part 7.